Welcome back, everybody. Should we just do a quick pulse check? I want to see how everyone's feeling. You can give me some hearts, whatever color, doesn't matter. Smiley faces, everything. I just want to make sure energy is still there. We're all good. We got a great start off with Karen Rodriguez, and I think we are going to continue in that same momentum. So we have our next speaker who is up and ready to go, and I am going to introduce him. Bobby Umar is an inspirational speaker and coach who champions authentic connections and heart-based leadership. Yes, so we stay in that same kindness momentum. He is an Inc. Top 100 leadership speaker. He's spoken at TEDx five times, and we're keeping in the number 5. He has over 500,000 social media followers. Bobby is recognized influencer, thought leader in storytelling, personal branding, and digital marketing. He has been named the 4th best leadership influencer according to Cred, a top 7 networking guru, and the 2nd best business coach to follow on Twitter. So if you're not following Bobby, you need to be. He founded DYPB, Discover Your Personal Brand, to help thousands discover their greatness and create more meaningful impact. Here to share his kindness story today, how empathy bridges the divide or even haters, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Umar.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, and I'm excited to be here. And let me just get going by sharing my screen, okay? And we'll get into that in just a second here. There we go. All right, so you can see my screen now, and let's get into the topic at hand. So, here we go. Oops. Okay, so welcome. So today I want to talk about kindness and empathy and how it matters, even with to conquer cyberbullying. So, you know, I'm everywhere on social media, and I do talks, and I do posts, and I have a LinkedIn page, and I do videos, and I go to networking events, live and virtual. And for me, you know, I engage a lot of people. And what I can tell you is that I get a lot of negativity. And the reason is because, you know, when you have over 500,000 followers, and now I'm almost close to 600,000 followers across Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you get a lot of people who say mean things. You know, this one person here, you know, calls me really terrible names. Another person tells me that on LinkedIn that I'm desperate or I'm trash. Another person responds to me with a violent post. And I can tell you that, you know, it's common everywhere. It's a lot. It's quite a lot on Twitter, but it's a lot everywhere. And often I was surprised when it would happen, and it would kind of, you know, upset me, and I get kind of bogged down by it. But then I was able to find a way to navigate it so that it didn't bother me as much anymore. And that is this thing. So on my pinned tweet on Twitter, you can see something as the following. This is it right here. You can disagree with someone without putting them down. You can listen to understand instead of listen to refute. Build bridges of understanding and not chasms of divide. So check your bias, your assumptions, and your fear, hate, ignorance at the door. Lead with empathy and love. And I'm telling you that this has made all the difference. Kindness, empathy, love, compassion, forgiveness. These traits have helped me not only deal with all the cyberbullies and the haters online, as well as people who are critiquing in a very negative way, or people make personal attacks, but it's also helped me personally in terms of processing my emotions. And that's why I think if we take an attitude of kindness and love, or empathy and peace and love with every step and every action, it's actually going to help us, and it's going to help other people. And this is my pinned tweet now. It's been there for a couple of years, and I followed this philosophy religiously. I'm not saying it's easy. It takes practice. Your heart is a muscle, and the more you practice empathy and kindness, the more you build up that muscle so that you get better and better at it. Same with your mind. The more you build your mindset around empathy and kindness, the more you build up the brain waves and the neurons so that this is your approach to doing things. And so this is one of the reasons why I think kindness and empathy matters. And so now whenever someone comes at me, I respond in kindness. And so for me, kindness and empathy is my first response to everything, including toxic people, haters, and trolls. Just recently, last week, a LinkedIn user called me fat and old and didn't like my hairline and my gray hair, but I replied with curious empathy. A Twitter follower called me a vile piece of S. I offered forgiving kindness. A Facebook friend called me divisive and ignorant. I gave compassion and understanding in return. An Instagram friend called me dumb and silly, but I showed love instead. And what I can tell you is sometimes it won't work. So here's one where someone just said, I hate you. And I said, love is better than hate. Love you all. And then he started saying some more horrible things. I offered empathy. Sorry you're upset. I wish you well and good luck. And then he kept going on and on with really bad things. And I just said, well, thank you for sharing. Sorry for your anger. I've learned a lot. And it doesn't work. And the truth is, for cyberbullies, 90% of the time, it doesn't work. They fight back, they project, and they come at you. But sometimes it does work. And that one I showed you in the beginning of the thing, which was the first 2 lines, I was able to talk to him in such a way that eventually he said, peace to you, and forgive me if I was anything but respectful. And so, that 10% that I can turn around with kindness and empathy, that makes all the difference. Because the truth is, divisiveness creates more divide. No matter what cause you're talking about, whether it's something that's important to you, if you want to create change, you have to bridge understanding with some people that are either on the fence or a little bit on the other side. Maybe not the ones who are really far away, but that's why kindness and empathy works, because it allows you to help understand where they're coming from, acknowledge their feelings. One of the best things you can do that I did on Twitter one time was someone said something very hateful or hurtful, and I said, hey, sounds like you're having a bad day or you're in a lot of pain. What's going on? Can I help you? Tell me whatever you want. I'm willing to listen right now. And that opened up an incredible conversation where this person shared all the pains of what they were going through. And I offered kindness, empathy, and support throughout the entire exchange. And by the end of it, they were, they went back and said, I'm really sorry that I started this way, but I'm really glad you listened to me. Because the truth is, everybody projects your pain. Hurt people. And so if we can understand that and use empathy, then number one, we can respond in a way that's more kind and empathetic. But number two, it won't affect us as much. So when someone says something horrible, I know they're projecting their pain. I know they're projecting their damage and their experience and their hurt. And so when I know that and I empathize with that person, then I won't let it bother me so much, and I can mentally process and move forward. So why kindness, empathy? Well, because kindness, empathy means that I get to live my values, not adhere to the values and get sucked into that vortex. So living your values of kindness, empathy are important. And what's really amazing is that, the truth is most can and do offer loving support. When I shared a post about my challenges with a particular troll and how it affected my own body image and weight loss challenge issues, a huge wave of support came my way. And so there's a lot of kindness and empathy out there. People just need a vehicle or an opportunity to share that kindness and empathy. And as I said before, kindness and empathy bridges understanding. That's where the magic happens. You want to bridge understanding, not fuel divide. And here's my take. Even if I can positively influence a dozen, or even a couple of hundred people, and I'm not sure, I haven't really kept count over the years, because I've sent over 100,000 tweets, and I've probably sent 100,000 emails over the years. But that 10% can make a huge difference, and that's where it starts. And then here's where kindness and empathy really, really matters too. I'm not talking just about kindness and empathy to others. I'm talking about kindness and empathy to myself. So that means self-love, self-care, forgiving yourself, having a good sleep. Tomorrow is another day. And, for the people who continue to not come around, well, then I show kindness to myself by encouraging them to find a better way. And then I may block them or report them or delete the tweet and just let it go. And I process those emotions. So for me, that's where, again, kindness and empathy are going to matter. And, a lot of people struggle with this idea of trying to be more kind and empathetic all the time, particularly when it comes to haters and trolls. But what you can find is you can learn a lot. And you can also exercise your empathy and heart muscle, which is actually something we all need to work on, right? And I love this quote, because you have to be different and greater first. So if you're not the first one out there leading with empathy and kindness, you can still be different and great and start working on that to put it out there. So I encourage everyone to do that, and you might have an incredible turnaround from the people that you talk to. And this is a chance for you to, not just react to change or embrace the change, but create the change that you want to see in the world. And that's again where kindness and empathy really matter. I found through my interactions with all the people on social media, and this includes emails, because I've had trolling emails too from haters, emails, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, whatnot. Um, you create the change by behaving the way that you want others to behave. And again, not everyone's going to come around, but that 10% that you work on is going to make a huge difference. So I encourage you all to work on kindness and empathy, and look at anyone that comes to us that with a trolling statement or something hurtful. You just say, number one, to yourself, can I empathize with this person that they're projecting their pain and experience? Number one. Number two, how severe is what they're really saying to me? Because based on what there's, how severe is it? Are they denigrating myself or my followers or my friends or family? What exactly are they doing? And then number three, determine your approach. You can either respond with kindness, or maybe it's so severe that you may just want to delete it and just be kind to yourself. So think about that in terms of how you do it. And then number four, once you've done that, you want to forgive yourself and be kind to yourself and let it go and process those emotions. And that's how I deal with any sort of cyberbully or any sort of troll on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. And again, people will remember how you made them feel. So if you make them feel good, you make them feel listened to, you make them feel understood, they're more likely to respond in a certain way, and you start to bridge that understanding. And I know this is hard for many people, but listen, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So I encourage you all to take the plunge and focus on kindness and empathy and really make that difference, even when the consequences or circumstances are very, very difficult, challenging, or very negative. That's all for my time. I know obviously there's no time for questions, but if there is, great. Otherwise, I encourage you all to reach out to me, tweet about this, tweet about Kindfest USA, tweet me at Rayhan Bobby, and talk about what you learned, talk about what you've done. Others, share this on LinkedIn. We want to share the kindness, share the love, and bring a lot of love and kindness and empathy out there. So I encourage you to do that. And I really thank you so much for your time. I thank you, Joe, for inviting me to this. And I'm just honored to be here. All the best. Take care.
Bobby, thank you so much for sharing space with us today. Really appreciate it. I think your story would have resonated with a lot of people in terms of receiving that negativity from persons online. But, I've heard so many times that hurt people. But the fact that you're able to turn that positive into a negative is very powerful, very impactful. And I'm sure that we all really appreciate the information that you shared with us today. Your story has worth and value and has really impacted us. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.